Hello and welcome everybody, hope that you're good. Into the Sweet Discoveries event, the final proper event for April before Com Day, of course, this Sunday. Let me know your thoughts and feelings of this one. It brings in Applin and its two split evolutions of Appletun and Flapple. And there's a whole new mechanic that's sort of not new because it's playing off of what happened on April Fool's event with the Pokeballs dotted around the map. We've got to find ourselves some apples. They could give us Applin encounters, or they could give us tart or sweet apples that are needed to evolve it. So it's going to be very interesting for this one. A big thanks, of course, to Wild Sunflower, who gifted us the event ticket for this one, which gives us a premium time research and a bunch of encounters, which is always smashing. So fingers crossed. As is sort of customary with events at the moment, there are a few shiny boosts on this one. We've got three specifically: Delibird and Skwovet featured in the wild and in eggs, and Cherubi only featured in eggs. So there's three boosts for Pokemon that perhaps people don't necessarily have. Delibird is a boosted dust Pokemon, 500 dust per catch, so worth getting all of these. Somebody's actually plopped down a Mossy Lure at the pub. Fantastic. Maybe we can find something good for that. I checked out Zoe 2Dot's video this morning, and it looks like the apples are not really spawning in the wild. I'm really hoping that kind of changes. We're going to give it a bash, drop some Mossy Lures, which apparently are boosting the apple spawns. We do have some remaining 7km eggs from the Pokemon Horizons event. Thanks everybody who dropped into the live premiere for the 24-hour challenge that we posted last night. You can go and check out that video here. And here you go, here's the introduction for it.
Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, to really understand the story, we have to go back 24 hours. Over the next 24 hours, a duck looks at me suspiciously. A small cat hides under a car. And I get one of the rarest shinies possible in Pokemon GO.
Oh, actually, jumping in, we have an apple. It's an Applin encounter. There we go, jumping straight in, and it's going to be our Pokedex. Now, the key thing is, I would recommend dropping a Grass-type Mega, just so you can get yourself the candy boosts. I should have really done a Red Ball to color coordinate it, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be our Pokedex Apple. Applin, that's the name of it. Applin, here we go. Fantastic, lovely to add a new Pokedex, always. Into the Galar region, the Galarian, and there you go, that's what you have to use. So we got a tart apple included in the capture. The stats of this are not actually too horrendous. It's 2-star to kick things off, so fingers crossed things can be delivered. Apples are appearing near Pokestops that have an active Mossy Lure. See, that's not how the article or the event was initially laid out. It's more, it was said they're more common, they're more likely to appear at Mossy Lures, but they should be appearing in the wild as well, so I want to see if that's true. But before we jump properly into this event, there are a few remaining egg catches. On the Pokemon Horizons event, of course, the 7km eggs, we maxed out on those 7Ks, and we did pull in another shiny Charcadet, so we have two of those, which is awesome. Alongside, a big shout out to Kiwi Steve. His New Zealand egg gave us our best IV Tinkating, a Goku Bad 98, which is awesome, so thanks very much, dude. And finally, we did pull in 100% IV Charcadet, which was one I was really hoping to get. Funky geotag, as you can see here, but I believe that is someone from the Patreon squad. It might be Milani, so thank you very much. I will double check this. The eggs were great, and there is an apple. An item was found. Does it tell us? Nope, we just found something in the wild. So we go to our apple, and we found a sweet apple. So maybe we're gonna have to sit around and drop Mossy Lures a lot, which is going to be an expensive endeavor. Because as you can see from these event bonuses, lure modules are not actually extended or boosted for this event. It's the standard 30 minutes. So we have obviously event-themed 7km eggs again. I'm not gonna go as hardcore for these 7Ks, we've got to be honest. Event-themed field research. The quest you want to find is use 3 berries. That's going to give you one of the Pokemon like Delibird, etc. So worth checking those out. Catching Delibird and Skwovet is going to give you berries and all that sort of good stuff. So 2 quest checks. One is for Kamala, which actually is a shiny I still need. Never got it in the Slumbering Sands event. There is Delibird. Actually, we're going to stack you, sir. Yeah, let's see what we think of this event. Let me know, of course, your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. And if you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button. Stick around for more Pokemon GO content. And please do go and check out that 24-hour challenge we posted, because it was a big video, big challenge, and a big production. 3 checks for random research. One's a Mankey. Let's just gloss on that. This is the event one. For a Skwovet, we did actually get that shiny family completed fairly recently, so I wouldn't mind that, but the Kamala, that's what I'm gonna chase. So fingers crossed for a pink barrel. And if you need any shinies, let me know in the comments below. I hope you're able to pick them up and get them. I haven't seen a single apple in the wild, and this is what was reported from APAC, is despite the article and the event and everything and how it was listed, it's actually basically coming off of Mossy Lures only, which is annoying because they cost you 180 coins each. Thankfully, the premium research does actually give you one, which actually we have completed. So let's get that completed in the video, shall we? So thank you again to Wild Sunflower. It's stage 1 of 2. Encounter for a Munna, if you need that yellow shiny. It's odd and slow, dropping berries and everything. Bidoof, the very god Pokemon. Good luck if you need that shiny. Next up is going to be the Bounce Suite, which was actually May's Community Day last year. Encounter number 4 is the Kamala that we really do need the shiny of. This check is for the Delibird. This encounter is the Skwovet with that supposed shiny boost. We'll see if that rings true today. This is a Cherubi, which actually we do need a couple of shinies of just to get the Cherum evolution. So we get an encounter and a Mossy Lure, which is going to come in handy because if we do a whole loop of the park and don't get anything, I'm going to do a short circuit and drop lures for half an hour. There is an Applin from Research 289, Silver Pineapple. The Applin with a nice 16 candy is going to be 3-star. We also have now some more quests. Kamala not shiny, and this one's going to be a Skwovet that's $3.99. I quickly tapped through them by mistake, but we have our final 5 Horizon eggs. That was egg number 1 as a Tinker-Tink, a tenner. The fact that I didn't bring any hundo luck is kind of hysterical. Tinker-Tink again. It does mean we can get some new 7km race. We will do a few batches just for the sake of content. It was 3 Tinker-Tink and a Charcadet. I have a suspicion that none of them are particularly amazing, but it's all good. Honestly, those Horizon eggs were good, but we did do like between 35 to 45 eggs per day. Delibird not a shiny. Also running daily incense and getting Munna. And this one is a Skwovet not a shiny. Lovely. Before we push on with the Applin grind and the apple picking, a big thanks to every single person who's over on my Patreon, supporting the channel, supporting the content, and me behind it. Because without you guys, we would not be able to do such things as the 24-hour challenge that happened last week, and all the live event travel and the live streams, and keeping things rocking and rolling to hopefully the standard that's both entertaining and satisfactory. So appreciate every single one of you on the rolling credits in these videos. I got a bit bored of daily adventure incense, so what we've done is we've dropped a little circuit of Mossy Lures, hoping with Spatial Ren that we can kind of hit all of them in one go. And you'll have to excuse both the plane going overhead and the tree hacking a piece that's going on over there. So there's an apple that gave us an item. However, there are some things that are happening which you may have seen on other content creators' videos. I'm clicking on apples and encountering an Oddish or a Sunkern or those sorts of things. So when you encounter these, there is a chance that they're not going to give you an Applin encounter. They'll give you something else supposed to come off a Mossy Lure, which I don't know if that's meant to be correct because that's not what was listed on the event article. There's an apple there, no Pokemon. Oh, there's an apple in the distance there. I don't care for my Primal Groudon. Come on. No encounter. My personal view on something like this is very counterintuitive to the game. This Pokemon is tricky to find, you know, fine. It has evolution item requirements, fine. All this sort of stuff. It's counterintuitive to basically the best option is to sit at some Pokestops and sit around and just burn lure modules endlessly. That's not really conducive to what Pokemon GO is about, really, is it? I mean, I'm doing my best here with a circuit that's, you know, only so big. You know, we do have the free research and the timed research now completed, so we'll do those a little bit later. Apple. Yes, finally an Applin encounter. So we'll see after half an hour how much lure module action is going through. So now after half an hour of lure sessions, because yes, the lures are not boosted for this event, which I think is a shame to be honest. Let's have a look at what we got. We also ran Spatial Ren for half an hour, which I recommend to be honest if you're doing a wide range of lures like we had here with a bit of a circuit. We got some, but not very many, and that was from 7 different lure modules for half an hour. We probably missed quite a few because I noticed there was a lot of lag on spawns coming through on those Mossy Lures, which is a bit of a shame. And unfortunately, nothing good in terms of IVs. That's just how it goes, of course. We did manage to pull in 30 tart apples and 24 sweet apples, and silver pineapple every single one means that we've got enough candy. So we could evolve one. Apples were coming through fairly frequently. Item drop wise, there were lots of grass themed Pokemon that spawned as apples. So, I mean, let me know what your thoughts and feelings of that are. I wish that Applin was a little bit easier to obtain, but I guess they're looking in terms of longevity. We do get the free research to claim, so we get ourselves a Mossy Lure and a couple of encounters. A Munna, second is going to be the Bidoof, third up is the Bounsweet. Will we get anything shiny from any of these? Dalian says was a bust, and I do want to get those 7-kilometer eggs done, but there is no half hatch distance on this one. It's only for using the widget to start with, and then the first 3 eggs of your event get the half egg distance. So we're back onto full distance walking with supers, which is a little bit of a shame. The penultimate encounter is going to be the Delibird, lovely, and you do get some apples at the end of it, but you only get 1 of each, which I think is stingy. There's a Cherubi, would be nice to get that shiny boosted, but apparently it's only shiny boosted from eggs. Yay, we get 1 of each type of apple. Now let's check out, thanks again to Wild Sunflower, part 2 of the time research is going to give us the encounter list again. Up comes our Bidoof. Next up should be the Bounsweet. There we go, not a shiny. I forget the 4th option, Kamala. Then it should be Skwovet. Yes, there's the Skwovet, lovely. Delibird, there we go, not a shiny. And finally, Cherubi. There we go, not a shiny. However, the all-important Apple and the Mossy Lure, so maybe I'll use those at home while editing. Boom. It's going to be 304, is significantly better than the last one. Because I did see, as you saw in B-roll actually, 1 apple from the wild. So I think I might do a root or 2 and see if they come off the roots a bit better. But this is, oh, so close. So close. 98 Applin. Wild Sunflower, thank you very much. The final encounter really pulling through on that one. Now, which would you go for personally? Let me know what your first evolution is going to be. Is it going to be Appletun or Flapple? I think Flapple looks a bit more interesting. So let's evolve it. Let's get the 98 and let's utilize those sweet apples for this one. I think it's sweet apples. It's interesting to have this new mechanic in the game. I guess it adds some more Pokemon and variety. Let's see. Flapple looks really, really interesting actually. So lovely to add that to the Pokédex. Right next to Applin, of course. The dragon just basically eats the apple on the inside and starts using the skin as wings and everything. So there you go. It's a funky grass dragon type. How useful that will be in the game remains to be seen. But now we do need to stock up on some Applin candy again. And it might be one to put as a buddy, to be honest, to get that candy boost. Oh dear, but where are we at on the old eggs? 2 out of 4.7. There's some walking to be done. I will also say, I'm still reeling from the 24-hour challenge. My right knee is knackered. Place your bets of which shiny you thought was going to be the first one of the boosted collection. It's the Skwovet. Very nice indeed. Red shiny squirrel, 485 from the wild as expected. Fantastic. And at least we got something for the video. That is fantastic. But we're literally just doing this route. Had 1 apple come off of it. So maybe roots can be an extra thing, or perhaps we just got lucky in the wild stuff. There are new 7-kilometer event eggs. We only got 6 of them. So let's see if we're going to get anything good for them. So Munchlax, Cherubi, Skwovet, and I believe Delibird from these eggs. And so far, it's been 2 of the thing that's not boosted, 3 of the thing that's not shiny boosted. And there we go, there's a Skwovet. Perhaps something else could happen. 4, unbelievable. 4 of the thing that can't be shiny boosted. I guess it's good for Munchlax and Snorlax XL. That's a 98 Skwovet from Christian. Thank you very much. Now there we go. I will try and hatch those on the normal incubators, but there's one thing I did want to do on the back of last weekend's shenanigans. The lucky 93 Snorlax. We featured it in the Entei Max Battle Guide, and ahead of the Entei battles happening on Saturday, we've maxed the attack, we've maxed the spirit, and what I wanted to do now was get it to level 50 with the 296 XL candy, which is going to give me a reason to catch the Snorlax and perhaps hatch these eggs for Munchlax. So 3614 on the lucky shiny Gigantamax, level 50'd ahead of the weekend. We did change it to Lick and Earthquake there. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below, of course, for this event. I hope you get those shinies that are indeed boosted, because there's plenty of them and there's some good opportunity to get those spawns. And how's your luck with the apple? Because that entire route, getting those eggs and everything, not a single apple spawn, which I've got to be honest, there is a certain point where I feel like an introduction to an event is so rare and elusive that it basically means it's not a point of an event. So apart from dropping Mossy Lures and buying them, you will barely find Applin or these apples spawning around, which I think is a real shame. It could have been a bit more fun if they were spawning. Applin can be a rare chance from an apple, but the apple should be featured to give you the chance to get the rewards, the items, and the encounters. So a viewpoint of somebody who didn't know that there was an event going on, who hadn't looked on socials, who didn't understand anything, probably would be none the wiser that there was an actual introduction to the new Pokemon through apples on the map. Anywho, I will say, if you enjoy this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Stick around with more Pokemon Go content, and of course you can check out some of the videos here on the screen to start your viewing pleasure of the channel perhaps. Do go and check out the 24-hour challenge that we dropped recently, because it's a banger. It's the best one we've done. It's our 14th 24-hour challenge here on the channel over the last couple of years. But I will say, until the next time, which will be Saturday with Dynamax Entei battles, I will say, do take care.